Hi everyone, it's Dora here. So in the last video we talked about forward bending, and in this video I want to talk about back bending. The pose in particular that I want to work on with you today is the cobra pose. And the reason why I chose this pose is because, again, this is another pose that is done repetitively in a yoga class, especially in a vinyasa flow class. And often when I teach this pose, I see that many people instinctively come into this pose by pushing into the arms. And so the pose, when we do that, the spine kind of follows whatever the movement the arms are asking it to do. And that is one way of exploring the pose. I'm not saying that it's wrong. However, when we do a cobra with the arms leading the way, what we often find is that one, the muscles in the back are not asked to do as much work. Again, it's not good or bad, but this is something that you might consider. And also another thing that happens is that you might be asking a lot of movement in one area of the spine, whereas other areas of the spine kind of remain quite neutral or unmoving. And so again, that's not necessarily good or bad, but this is something that you might be mindful of as if we continue to do repetitive movement and we're asking certain joints to move a lot more and much more often than other joints, and over time sometimes that could lead to problems in the long term. So in any case, if you are used to doing cobra pose in one way, it's nice to explore doing the same pose in another way. This again helps to further your self-exploration about how how by being able to focus a little bit differently as you approach or you know, as you stay or come out of a pose, just paying attention to different things might give you a whole new perspective and a whole new way to experience that pose. So when you're ready, we're going to come onto our backs, onto our bellies. And you can just have your hands perhaps underneath the shoulders for now, or anywhere else that might be most comfortable. And you can allow the head to relax. You might gently stretch the legs out long and have the tops of the feet gently pressing down into the earth. And gently pressing the toes down. And as you do that, you might feel the knees slightly lift up off the ground. But try not to lock into the knees. And then from here, we're going to start to engage the belly. So drawing the belly towards the spine, or gently lifting it up away from the floor. We're going to just roll the shoulders back and down, just gently, not forcefully. We just want it comfortably on our backs. And for this exercise, we want to keep the elbows pointing back. And let's just try perhaps the way that I normally see in class. We're just going to keep the belly switched on, keep pressing into the toenails. We're going to bring the weight into our hands and just press up into a cobra pose. Just noticing and just coming as far as it feels comfortable for you here. Noticing how this feels here. Any sensations along the spine or in the arms or anywhere else in the body. And then gently lower back down. Take a breath. And then we're going to try the other way. Press the toenails down, hug the belly in,
Now from here, we're going to start to move one vertebra at a time, starting from the top of the neck. And one at a time, we're going to start to articulate the joints as we lift up, and then you're going to feel that movement kind of run down along the spine, slowly coming up, and then along the lower back. We're not using our hands here. Your hands should be able to float up off the ground. And then notice what is engaging here. Are you able to breathe? So we're in baby cobra. We're not trying to come up as far as we can. We're going to try to notice what's happening here as you use your back muscles rather than your arms. And then gently lower back down. You might gently wiggle out the hips. You might bend the knees and gently sway the legs side to side. And then relax the legs down. Okay, again, let's press the toenails down. Draw the navel in. And then again, slowly, starting from the top of the neck, and start to come up. Feeling the engagement of the back muscles slowly travel down towards the low back, perhaps. When you've come as far as you can you stay with this engagement of the back? Now you can bring your arms into it. So gently press into your hands, engage the arms as you start to lengthen. But you don't want the arms to overpower what's happening in the back. It's just supporting what the back is doing, but you're not losing the connection with the back. And come as far as you can while keeping connection or relationship with the back and the muscles of the back here. And then gently lower back down. And release. And you might shake out the arms, you might reach them out long. Gently wiggle the hips. You might turn the palms up to the sky. You might roll out the wrists. And take a breath here. Okay, now coming back to bring your hands underneath the shoulders. So we just explored using perhaps different muscles to come up into your cobra pose. Now let's take a moment to explore the breath. So from here, again, if you like, you can bring your forehead to the ground. Gently press the toenails down. Hug the belly in. Now we're often told to come up on the inhale. So notice what happens. Let's try to bring the breath into the belly. As you breathe into the belly. Lift up, cobra. Let's do baby cobra. And then exhale, lower down. So let's try that again. As you inhale, bring the breath into the belly. Lifting up. Exhale down. All right. Now let's see. We'll do the same in breath as we come up. But instead of bringing the breath into the belly, let's bring the breath into the chest. So when you're ready, hug the belly in, toenails down. Inhale, breath into the chest. And exhale, lower down. One more time, breathe in, filling up the chest. And exhale, lower down. And take a moment here. Okay, so how did that feel for you? So there's really not a right or wrong way to breathe as you're in the cobra pose, because we all have such different bodies that one breath might feel better for you
but not someone else, and vice versa. So we're often told to breathe in as we come into cobra pose, as it kind of, you know, this breathing in action, if you think of it like a balloon, as you fill up the balloon, you kind of automatically want to kind of peel the body up off the ground. But having said this, it's also interesting to try the opposite breath. So let's try this. Coming back down, forehead to the ground, press the toenails down, hug the belly in. We're going to take a breath in. Now as you exhale, come up. And inhale, lower. Again, exhale, come up. And inhale, lower down. If you like, let's try one more time. Exhale up. And inhale down. And take a moment here, do what you need. You might let go of the arms, the wrists, and you wiggle the hips. You might bend the knees and sway the legs side to side. Okay. So how did that feel for you? So sometimes if we breathe out and come up, we might actually feel more space and more movement in the spine, and that might actually feel easier as you come into cobra. So just know that you always have choices in your yoga poses, and even as the instructor might give you instructions to breathe or to do certain movements, it is also okay to explore a different breath, because not the same breath will work efficiently for everybody. So knowing that you have that option there, you can definitely try and change up your practice a little bit. And also, if you're always used to doing a pose a certain way, then perhaps it might be time to try something a little different and see what other muscles in the body can be utilized when you're in a particular pose. And also paying attention to your breath. So I hope that was useful. I will see you next time. Namaste.